Well, hello and welcome to week 8 of Shelf Life. Like and subscribe right off the bat. Like and subscribe if you like me talking about books that I'm reading right now. We'll do our standard, typical deep breath, slow down, gather our thoughts. Here we go. If you didn't notice, I zipped it all off. If you're just getting to know me, you'll learn that I go through a number of looks and phases throughout the year, and it's always changing. So this is kind of the clean slate. Here we go. Here we have it. Glad you're here. Let's start. Oh, my son is running around. He's very excited today. Let's get right into it. Lonesome Dove. Just like the rest of this month, it's been quite a thick month. This has been a challenge for me because I don't think I've ever read a 900 858. I know this because I keep dividing it up and pacing myself. Also, I don't talk about the covers. This is an awesome cover, and it's got these little glitter gleams on it. I think it looks dope. Really cool cover, real soft, got some good flop to it. I haven't seen many other people with this edition. I don't know how to look it all up, but pretty book. I'm eight out of 858 pages. I think I just hit page 700. So that leaves roughly about 160 pages left in this. And this book is awesome. Like, I know, real deep analysis on this, but there are a couple things I wanted to say about it. All the branches, all the multiple plots that are, all very important, they've all woven back together. There's been a ton of violence, and the story is just absolutely incredible. The writing is very easy to read, very accessible, and the whole book is written like Sam Elliott is reading it to you. Big fan. But because I'm noticing that I'm getting down to the nitty gritty, I think that yep, there's my page. I'm realizing what parts this is gonna end soon. Like it's coming. Like I don't know how we're gonna wrap this up, but like we've been on a quite a journey. Now, in the beginning, excuse me. Also, side note, tangent. I didn't really post much anywhere this week. After my run last week, the week before when I was getting ready for it, my son, he was sick and he was doing his favorite thing, cough right in dad's face. So luckily I wasn't sick at the race, but after him coughing on me and being sick all last week, and then I did my race, which definitely put a knock in my immune system and ran me into the ground. I got sick this week, and I was either a congested, snotty mess, or I would take like a Sudafed and it would just turn on the faucet. So I really didn't have much wherewithal to be posting and to be creative. And, that's kind of the fun of this page. Just let it sit and marinate. And when I feel like it, here we are. But I did have time to get into this more. I'm on a pace with this. I'm roughly reading about 40 pages a day. And on the days, I could probably read that 4 or maybe 5 times a week. So I have it paced out right now to finish the book in 4 more sittings. So also, in the beginning, someone said, I can't wait to see who your favorite character is. Probably the most relatable one up to now is Call. He's just off on his own in the wilderness. I want to talk about work. I'm not into the ladies of the night. And oh man, when he got mad and he took care of business at one point. And I was like, yes, stoked. However, if you want to know who I dislike the most in this book, Ellie. Elmira, uh, July's wife. She's my least favorite person in this entire book, including all the villains. Elmira, I despise that woman, and I'm not going to spoil anything. So maybe I don't know how you guys feel about spoilers. I could go more into depth in these, but I don't know who's watching it, who's going to read these, or who's in the process of reading this. I really don't want to spoil anything for you. If you want one that says, "Hey, spoilers," and I'll get into all the nitty gritty details, let me know, and I'll put warnings, and hey, here comes all the spoiler parts. But I'm not doing time sequences and chopping. I'm not doing that right now. Simple, simplicity. So that's what I have right now for this. Elmira, not a fan. Um, yeah, just getting ready to get to the end of this. And here's another thing. It's an accomplishment in and of itself that I read a book of this magnitude in a month. I'm on pace for that. But coming back to you guys every week with like, hey, guess what? I'm reading the same thing. Like, kudos to you guys for, sticking around. But like I am ready to read some other stuff. And I might challenge myself with some more chunkers, as I call them. Or, this other looming monstrosity that I have, the Count of Monte Cristo. This has been waiting for me to get back to it. I still know exactly where I am. I can see it in my head. So I have not given up on it. It's just I have a goal of hitting that before Halloween. Happy Halloween, because I'm not going to see you before the end of the month. Happy Halloween. But I am excited to get back into some smaller things. The Count, I really think for November, White Noise is going to be a top book to check off of the list. I still got War and what's the name of this book? Hour of the Star, Lispector. I those should be quick, right? Those should be quick. Looking forward to it. And I returned my library book, and I'll hit my daily pace with Lonesome Dove, and I've been following with the Yale Open courses and Robert Frost. I had the complete works of Robert Frost. That was really easy to read along with. But this is, let's see if I can do this. This one, it's got let's see. No, that's someone else. It just has selected poems. I don't know if you hear that. It just have selected poems. I think I'm on page 200 something. Two, yeah, here's all Robert Frost. There's Out Out, the chainsaw poem, diabolical. But a lot of the ones that were on the Yale list, and this is the suggested text, those ones aren't in there. So I just went on Google, and I mean, Robert Frost is public domain, so I was just reading on my phone again. Um, I know I also don't like getting too deep on reading multiple books at once. I want to stay on pace this month, but I started reread. No, I didn't start rereading a book. I for the race before the race I got rid of Spotify. And with Spotify, you can have 15 hours of any audiobook before you have to buy more hours. And I had listened to in the past Meditations, Marcus Aurelius, Stoicism, you know, one of the what supposedly is one of the greatest books of all time that was never really even supposed to be a book. It was the Roman emperor's uh, personal diary that he wrote in Greek. But I remember listening to the audiobook Meditations, and I really dug it. I was really into it. So I started reading Meditations here on iBooks. I always want to say iPhone, but here on iBooks for free. It's right in there. It's just one of the classics. So then I had that in my phone, and I could do my stealth reading. And it's a nice change up from just plowing through Lonesome Dove, and it's a nice change of scenery. Really enjoyed that. Yeah. Next week I'm pretty excited about getting. I'm getting out of Robert Frost, and I'm getting into W.B. Yeats. Yates. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Um, Along with reading uh Lonesome Dove. Lonesome Dove was on the a big reason why I chose this. It was kind of a twofold. Number one, this was on the David Foster Wallace syllabus when he taught, and also is in a number of book clubs. So this month it's just kind of like, oh well, that's perfect. Let's do that. Um, but on the same syllabus was this book, and I haven't really talked about this. This is The Moviegoer by Walker Percy. And from watching Ryan Holiday, who talks a lot about meditations and stoicism, mentioned how much of a big fan of this book he is. And I found out that the Percy family was very influential down south. And Walker Percy was he was into stoicism himself. I can't really get more into depth. This is about a gentleman, a young gentleman in the South. I think he was no, he was kind of in between jobs. And his uncle was a lawyer, and maybe I'm getting that totally wrong. But pretty much he was walking through life. He was, not really doing much. And he had a whole bunch of different people in his family, and he was kind of a bit of a womanizer. And you just see him kind of find himself throughout this cool journey between going down on the Louisiana coast and learning about not learning about, but it's just like kind of like a coming of age story. It takes place in, I want to say, the 60s, maybe the 50s, written in the 60s. But it was a cool book. Again, just chipping off of the David Foster Wallace syllabus. Let's take a look around because it's 4 more days left in the month, and this is when I start getting antsy. This is when I start planning everything. This is when I start planning what I want to get into next month. So WB Yeats, we're gonna be checking him out. What else do I want to do? Of course, I mentioned the other 4 books, but I'm looking down here and I really haven't planned the month yet. So it's like it's full of potential. It's full of potential for the month. I'm still looking at V. Who's read V? Who's read V? Should I read V? Because I read the Crying of Lot 49. I don't think I, I don't think I could give this due diligence right now. Gravity's Rainbow. I think that might be a December. Another like just it might be another month like this where that's the focus. But I kind of need like a buffer right now. Is V too much? Let me know. And because I'm kind of on the high horse right now, and everyone says, it's accessible, but it's not too much. Solenoid, I bought this month, so I should probably read it. I think it's 700 and some odd pages. The text isn't teeny tiny. Yeah, it's 635. After this month and plowing through Lonesome Dove, this should be nothing, and I would be able to do white noise, what have you. Um, a lot of DFW interviews. He does that a lot. So it's kind of like my own little personal inside joke when I make these videos. Yeah, guys, that's pretty. I don't have a whole ton for you today. Today's probably going to be a shorter. Oh, the tunnel. The tunnel's another one. I think that one's fat too. That 900 pages, but this one's another one that needs it needs my attention. Oh, what is this stuff in the back? What's all that? I might have just accidentally become. Oh, there's weird type. Oh, this looks crazy. Whoa. You know what's a fun thing about getting used books? There's all sorts of weird type and different stuff in there. But one thing, I got this used, this DeLillo White Noise. One thing that I enjoy about getting used books, look at all this. All these notes, annotations, weird little writings to yourself, where this room is, little check marks that someone else thought was interesting or useful in a class. I like that. I like seeing that a book is alive. Good stuff. What else? Oh, all right. Here's kind of like the bonus scene of the video. Someone was talking about because last week I was talking about painting, and because I got published. One of my poems got published, and that was a web exclusive on Black Noise. I'm going to plug them again. Black Noise Magazine. Thank you again for publishing me. I have a web exclusive this month, but in December, I have another poem that is going to be going into print, which I'm very excited about. And also because, what are we at? This is shelf life 8. It's kind of like give yourself permission, kind of like with creating content. And I have a lot of personally written poetry. It's like, well, if they liked it, I'm going to start throwing in submissions to other places that are taking submissions, probably in the New England area, like Connecticut Review, New England Review, Massachusetts Review, Worcester Review. There's a whole bunch of them apparently, and it's like basically free, maybe maybe $20. Throw it out there and you get published. So why not? If I'm also a huge Henry Rollins fan, I know, and if you can write a sentence, you can write. And I just like, yes, the DIY punk rock ethos of that, like even with the band and everything, it's like do it yourself. So Henry, thank you. But I was talking a lot about how in writing you can be really technical, just like in painting you can be very technical, but in order to not be self-critical so much, sometimes you have to give yourself permission to suck or permission to be abstract. Like I saw this one thing with the Melvins, and the Melvins were like, I don't know what note it is, it's what's the right note, and they're just hitting a bunch of pedals and making noise, and they're like, there's a song, we're definitely putting that on. So that, no rules, like anarchy within art, like, yes. So I mentioned my crazy paintings last time and how I paint with knives, and someone said that, oh, might be interesting. So I'm going to show a couple of my paintings just because you can see right here. I just have them all just hanging out. So I'm not going to do them all. Here's one. These are all oils, by the way, all painted with knives. There's one. I'll just do some quick glimpses. This is like a blast. There's another one. Let's see. This is fun. This is like show and tell. I really don't like that one. I got a couple of bigger ones. Oh, check this one out. This one I painted. This is my toolbox. This is my toolbox with the door open and like all my welding accessories because I'm a welder. And here's like the weld curtains and the floor and everything. So there's one I did with knives. And I got some bigger ones. But here's my latest big one. Here, let's see. I'll just show it to you real quick. Let's see if I can get this on camera. Kind of big. Made the board myself. I actually just stapled it to the rafters in the other room, and I just painted like that. And I would paint in the middle of the night. I got off third shift, so all my paintings would be done at like 4 o'clock in the morning. But they're kind of just hanging out here right now. So thank you for the interest. And there's a couple of my little paintings. If you're interested in any of them or any more of them, let me know. If there's any books you want me to talk about that you see on my shelf, anything that I talked about today you want me to go more in depth into, leave a comment. Say something. Say hi to me on Instagram and TikTok. I do shorts on here. I chop it up. And yeah, next week we'll be finished. We'll be done with Lonesome Dove. I'll let you know what I'm getting into, where we're headed for the next month. Happy Halloween. Like and subscribe. Thank you again so much. Big love. Over and out.